Academy of Sports Excellence has rapidly become the pride of Qatar. Its breathtaking facilities are a match for the finest sporting institutions on the planet, and the Academy are taking the concept of sports development to a whole new level.
They have an opportunity to really explore their potential. Elite sport is, a lot of it's about maximising a young person's potential, their athletic potential.
It's a fantastic experience for them, and I can see an improvement already in the boys. They're just getting more and more educated in football and playing better and better and becoming stronger and stronger.
One thing that I like, their heart and their attitude.
We say to our boys all the time that you've got an opportunity that millions of boys around the world would want, because you've got a realistic chance of playing in the World Cup.
The sole purpose of the Academy's existence? To turn Qatar's young talents into sporting champions.
The football program is the largest program within the Aspire Academy for Sports Excellence. The program actually spans 12 years. So we're starting children as young as 5 or 6 years of age, and they'll get an expertly coached and led sporting experience where they increase their physical literacy, and as they get more involved in the program they might be channeled to specific sports, and so this creates a whole pathway and a continuum for the young people of Qatar.
The selection process begins here. Aspire scouting teams visit schools and local sports centres around the country to discover talented youngsters before inviting them to the Academy for closer inspection. But what are they looking for at this early stage?
So what we're doing is we scout all the boys in Qatar, almost 10,000 boys a year in different age groups, by going into schools, invite schools for festivals, we go to the clubs. So where you're selecting in is just, are they interested in football, do they like the game? At this stage it's the most important, and by playing little by little we detect their main qualities. If you look into scouting activities, it's easy to detect the best boy of the group, but sometimes it's difficult to detect boys who can be in future good players.
Aspire are under no illusions. In order to transform the young talents of these men, they've handpicked the finest coaches from all over the world, all working hard to translate their knowledge of the beautiful game here in Qatar.
We have this distillation of knowledge and expertise and experience. So, whilst the Spanish won the World Cup and we've got Spanish coaches on staff, we also have coaches from France, from Germany, from
Brazil, Italy, Qatar, Iraq, England, Holland, so lots of different countries.
These young coaches are very professional. They are career coaches, although fortunately many of them come from a teaching background, which is quite important to us because that tells us that they understand and have been involved in educating young people. But they bring with them their knowledge of their respective countries' football methodology, the techniques that are applied and used in their respective countries, their philosophies.
The idea is that we can draw upon the experiences of these coaches from different countries, and then we can put into place a program that's appropriate for Qatar.
And the results that we're achieving over time are really quite phenomenal.
The system is reaping dividends, but talent can only take you so far. Hard work on the training pitch with the coaches has been key to realising such potential.
Technically they can be very gifted players. Physically they lack a lot, so we work a lot on the technique, so they're quick, so they can manipulate the ball, and when we play against big physical teams we have to play to our strengths, because we're never going to compete with the big physical types of teams.
It makes a big difference in the fact that we're able to train them as much as we are. We get 8 sessions a week with the boys, as opposed to kind of 2 or 3 a week in Europe, and that contact time makes all the difference in producing and developing players that are very good technically.
We have lots of work to do, of course, because I can tell you in my area in Porto we have 130-40 clubs. Here we have no more than 20 clubs, so it's different, and the country is small, but the players, they have one thing that I like, they have heart and they have attitude, and it's nice.
However, there is only so much a player can learn from his coach and his peers. The programme invites some of the best teams in the world to come and train at the academy. During their visit, they get to showcase their talents against the Aspire teams, all the while giving these young athletes that competitive edge.
The idea behind this is to give our players an opportunity to play against their peer group from the best football nations and the best football clubs in the world.
Well, obviously, playing against the big clubs, the Premier League clubs, and some of the big clubs from Europe, it's an exciting experience for the Aspire boys, and I'm sure they enjoy it and look forward to it. And again, for them, it's a great experience to learn, and they learn how maybe some of these big clubs prepare for big games will be maybe different, and they haven't got the background, they haven't got the knowledge of football that most of the boys from Manchester have been watching football since they were 2 or 3 and playing it since they were able to walk. So it's a fantastic experience for them.
Well, we got an invitation last year from the Aspire Academy, and it's something we're trying to achieve back in Manchester. We're looking to get our own residencies for boys, so it's an ideal opportunity to come and see how do you do it here. So that was the first reason we came, and obviously then they invited a group, so we had the opportunity to bring a group here as well. A good experience for them.
Obviously we think we've got decent facilities at Manchester United, but when you come here it's a step up even further. We've been really impressed with the whole setup, and we feel that the Qatarians are on their way in the right direction.
The facilities are top quality. We've been looked after extremely well. The food's just the right for the boys. It's just the right environment for the boys, and the boys love the training. It's just getting used to the heat, which obviously we don't have back home. But it's a good experience for them, and they'll always remember that.
The benefits of visiting the academy are endless for this Manchester United side. But how does the meeting of these two footballing worlds help strengthen the Aspire trainees?
In 2002, when it opened, they played the best teams in Europe and they'd get heavily beaten, but now we bring over the likes of Brazil, Barcelona, and it can be very close matches with the top teams, national teams and the top club teams. So it's an amazing the technical level that the boys have achieved.
Every country have a way to play. English football they play fast, and Asian they play another way, so we get to use them. We have experience.
Yeah, it's very important to play against a different team because we learn a different style of play. We get experience, and they are a strong team, so we can enjoy. It's normal.
Villarreal's under 15-year-olds have travelled halfway across the world to play 2 games against the Qatari national team. And who knows, may even be a little bit surprised by the standard of their opponents.
Here we are playing against the Qatar national team, whereas in Spain we only play against smaller clubs, and these players here are so much stronger.
Primeramente la cultura que es muy bonita.
The Qatari culture is very interesting, and their football has improved a lot.
Y cada vez vemos que no hay una diferencia tan abismal como antes.
Now they are competitive. They have an important philosophy, and they're able to compete on a European level
muy importante y que pueden competir a nivel europeo sin ningún problema.
A match at the Al Sadd Stadium rounded off the English team's visit to Doha. The performance from both sides gave the coaches plenty to think about.
I think it was a very good game. Good, 2 teams we tried to play. I think in the first half we started good. We dominate. Sometimes they dominate. It was different tempos in the game. But I think we performed well.
But to have the experience of coming to Qatar, playing on a wonderful stadium like this, and all the boys did very, very well. So very pleased with them.
Of course, if we bring here one of the best teams in the world as Manchester United, we know we're going to play against good players, good level, and it makes us also to improve because everything goes fast. We need to be more concentrated, we need to be more accurate, more in our technique, skills, everything.
As well as visits from leading clubs in Europe, Aspire opens its gate to some of the world's biggest footballing figures. Jose Mourinho, Diego Maradona and Cafu are amongst many that have toured the facility, all of whom leave inspired by the Academy's dedication to the development of football.
The infrastructure they have and they are building is amazing. The passion is absolutely fantastic. and they have the clear notion of how to be organized, and I think this is important. Maybe they don't have probably the talent or the working talent to respond in an amazing way, but I believe that with the organization they can do something that not just for them, also for their area, the Middle East area, they can do something that they can be proud of. Also the people is doing that with a lot of passion and pride. They are very proud of the academy, and fantastic to be fair. I was impressed.
Spectacular. It's the first academy like this I've seen. I've never been to something like this until now. I'll leave the academy with a different mindset, and if I was a student here, I'd leave feeling like I have the ability to confront the world.
The global idea is great because they care. They know that other things are also important, and when, for example, they have the private hospital, the clinic, they have the studies days, they have other things around the proper sport, if you can call that. And I think they are thinking very well the whole process. And when they look to the World Cup, for example, and trying to prepare a team for their country to be proud of course it's a small country, so in terms of numbers they don't have a country with a huge population to choose in between them. But with the organization they are showing, I truly believe that they can do something that they can be proud of.
Aspire not only open their gates to top-class clubs, but to gifted individuals across the globe. The Scouts pride themselves in hot-housing young Qataris, as well as the best of around 600,000 players in Africa and Asia. The programme, known as Football Dreams, seeks raw talent from far and wide, who then become a vital part of this multicultural footballing haven.
There's two aspects to the Football Dreams program. One is it gives an amazing opportunity for these boys from as many as 15 or 16 different countries around the world where the scouting is done to come to an environment in which we have arguably the best football and sporting facilities in the world, to come here and to receive an education, become part of our program, to explore the full depth and breadth of their talent, and then ultimately go back and play for their home countries.
We've taken several scholarship boys and they've had a great effect on our program. You know, they raise the levels in terms of training and performance every day. And if you consider, you know, Qatar's, in terms of population, is a very small country. And in every age group we haven't got lots of very good players, we only have a small number. So if these players are going to get better, they have to train and play with better players.
Two Aspire scholars were picked from their hometowns in Africa back in 2006. Abdul and Messi came over to a world completely unknown to their own, and lucky for Qatar, have never looked back.
Well, I came here in 2006 and they used to come to Senegal to do some tests, so from there they saw me, then they brought me here.
So they choose around like 1,000 or 3,000 boys in our age, so they make a string, so they choose 4 players to come to over Qatar, and then we do again trial to Qatar, and then they choose me in Qatar.
I knew from the beginning I was going to succeed, so it was not a big deal.
I'm passionate of football, I like football, so and also I'm studying, so I got a new experience how to deal with new people, and so everything is right now.
I would like to be one day a professional footballer in Europe or somewhere else, but in a big club or in Qatar, inshallah.
Oh, my dream is to play football, to get a professional football, so we see what will happen in the future.